It's your boy, Dustin from the Flying Chairs, The Rise Podcast. And today, oh shit, you won't believe it, I got Aleksandra here with me, and she's all the way from Canada. And this girl is the shit. I saw her on Facebook, and she's got her own podcast, and she was very intriguing to me. And she has all these cool guests and all these cool topics, and I was like, I can see her being on my show and talking about her show and how she got into what she's doing. So, Aleksandra, can you tell us where you grew up and how you found yourself, what you're doing today?
Hey, Dustin, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me on. Like I said earlier, I was a little bit, nervous and everything, but hey, sometimes we have to be on the other side as well, right?
Yes.
Being asked those questions and all that stuff. I am originally from Poland. I was born and raised there until about age 12.
Cool.
And then
I got some Polish roots myself, so yeah. My mom's from Poland.
No way.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know any Polish?
My dad does a little bit, but not me.
Okay. Yeah, my kids are the same way. Like, I try to speak to them, and they're like, "Huh? What? I don't understand."
I think it's good to know your home language. You know what I'm saying? Once you ever go back and at least know it.
I think they understand. It's just living in the country so big as North America, and English is the basic primary language, which is a strong language. I mean, here in Canada, we also have French. Yes. So like I live on the Quebec side, so we're immersed in the French constantly, but I don't speak French, right? Sure. Like I've been here for 20 something years in Quebec and I don't speak French. So,
That's awesome.
Okay.
You're determined to say, I'm not learning that.
I'm not learning that language. I love the Quebecers. I love them.
Sure.
I'm not learning that language. So the story is that my parents were part of the freedom movement, basically in the 1980s. And my dad did not want to raise his kids, which is me and my sister, in this kind of environment. So they decided to pack up and leave. And in 88, no one knew what's going on. We were allowed to go on the vacation. So we went on a vacation to Greece, which was very exciting because, I've been to most of the country. Like I have family in Ukraine. So we've been in Ukraine a couple of times. Wow. We had family and friends in Germany because a lot of people left Poland. They lived in Germany. So we went to visit them. We went to Hungary. We went to Czech Republic. We had family in Ostrava, which we would literally go there a lot to spend Christmas with family and things like that. That's so awesome. We were allowed to leave. But, if my dad would say, hey, we're leaving, we're not coming back, I don't think they would ever let him out of the country. I think they would arrest him and, the rest of it would be history, like, the Russian regime kind of thing, right? Under being under the communist regime, I would say. So when we went to Greece, it was absolutely fantastic. Come on, it's Greece, right? Rocky sands, beautiful waters and everything. And then I remember we left Thessaloniki, which is like a northern part of Greece, and we went down south to Athens. And I said to my parents, I'm like, well, it's September. Aren't we supposed to go back to Poland? Like school started kind of thing, And they're like, oh, no, we're going to take a couple more weeks and we'll come back. We'll go back home. As a 12-year-old, I was like 13-year-old. I was like, great, like extension of a holiday. I'm like, hello. We ended up going in Greece and we stayed there. And then from there, my dad, like money was kind of running out. And he's like, I need to find a job. And I overheard my parents talking about certain things. And I was like, scratching my head, like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. So we ended up going to Corinthos, where we lived there for 2 years. My parents worked. I went to school. And the whole story is that Poland in 1989 became a free country. So a lot of these countries like Canada, Australia, I think US was open for immigration, but my parents, for some reason, were very focused to come to Canada.
Sure.
And long story short, basically he emailed, not emails, because back then there was no,
He faxed.
yes, he faxed. It was not even fax back then. But he sent a letter, literally handwritten letter,
Mhm.
and he shipped it off to someone that he knew that he met in the university in Poland. And he was a Canadian pastor. And he basically said in the letter saying, hey, we don't have any options, and we were wondering if you would come forward and help us to basically emigrate to Canada. And a couple months passed by, and we got a letter from them saying, absolutely. So the whole process has started, and we end up coming to Canada in 1990. I remember this day, January 24th, 1990. And it was so cold.
Was it?
It was so cold. We flew to Montreal. From Montreal, we flew down to Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown, which is the smallest little island
Yeah.
in Maritimes. And I remember looking at my mom and crying. And I was like, what
Mm.
the hell you guys did to me? So, and be honest with you, growing up here in Canada for the past, almost 35 years, it's been challenging because I think what happened, because my parents never told me that we are leaving, I never had a chance to say goodbye to my friends, my family, my
Yeah.
dog,
Oh
just
my
these
God, yeah.
things, little things, right? So when you think about trauma, I think I brought these trauma. I was holding on to
Mm,
that kind of,
sure. It's
um,
understandable. You're
yeah,
young.
it was
Yeah.
really hard, right? So I think I hold on to that anger for such a long time. And I think in my 30s, mid 30s, I finally said, you know what? Why? Why am I holding on to this? I gotta let go of this shit. Like, there's no need for that.
Mhm.
And within the process of trying to basically again find myself and figure things out, what who I am, what I want to do, and that stuff, that's when things kind of slowly shifted for me.
Mhm.
So that's where I am.
That's awesome.
I'm a Canadian.
The Canuck.
But honestly, to be honest still with you, is like I don't I don't know if I belong there, and I don't think I belong here. I
Sure.
just, I'm a human being, and I feel that wherever I go, I can make a home. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say I go down to Central America quite a bit, and I love it. I guess the climate, I love the climate, but I think if I could choose to live in the States, I could pick, for example, um, what's the state that I really love? Oregon.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Beautiful. That's the state that I would love to live. I would make a home. Australia. I could go to Australia. I could make it happen. So anywhere I could go in the world, I could make it happen, right? Without, obviously the resentment like I had when I was a young child. But I think we're all children of the universe. And
Yes.
and the questions I've been asking myself lately is that who created these borders? Who came up with these things?
Right?
Right? Why can I travel from one place to another place without being asked for ID or passport? Like, we are all the same. We're all human beings. So why do we have these restrictions?
Yeah.
So that's
It's
where I'm
fun.
at right now.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you gotta wonder too, like these extraterrestrials come down, they see that there is borders between everybody trying to keep each other out of different places. It's like,
Yeah,
whoa, what kind of craziness is this?
that's right. Right.
No, it's yeah, it's really weird and sad, and especially when there's other countries that are more corrupt than others, run by gangsters, and like that's the reason why people want to get the hell out of Mexico. There's people chopping each other's heads off down there. Like Jesus. No, it's not pretty. No, it's but there's other beautiful places that are not all tainted, but yeah, no, It's so cool. The fact that I'm in Wisconsin, I'm a hop skip away from Canada. I've never been to Canada. I love to go. I want to go to Toronto. I heard that place is really dope. I love your guys' music there. The hip hop scene is sick. I follow close with
Good. Yeah.
the underground hip hop, and that hip hop scene in Canada is really
Yeah.
awesome. And yeah, you
Yeah.
got awesome comedians that pop out of there too. Tom
Yeah.
Green is from there, for God's sake.
Yes. That's right. That's right. Tom Green and Keanu Reeves and
Yes,
what's my
there's tons.
goodness. Alanis Morissette. I mean, she lives in the States now, but she's from Ottawa. She's from the place where I am.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's from here.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I talked to him. We had another guy on my show from Quebec, and he spoke mostly French, but he had his English was all right, but he's got a strong
Very
accent, you
spoken.
know?
Yeah.
But he had a unique little independent team that went and investigated UFO sightings to landings to other people interacting with them.
Mhm.
And I forgot the name of their. I know it's a short name of their little group, but I liked how they kept it small because they thought less opinions on certain things. They would have like maybe a skeptic too that kind of still have an edge on that, you know, idea of like what this could be.
Mhm.
So no, it's cool. I like it was really impressive of like some of the scenes that he found a hand that was like four fingered. Um,
Was it imprint or
it was an
something? Or
imprint into the yeah, it was imprint into the mud and stuff. But he actually took castings, so stuff that's like they do like a real heavy investigation. They actually
yeah.
had the guys like they have like a whole sheet. It's kind of like MUFON,
Okay.
little MUFON thing they make. So I don't know.
So I
That
didn't
was
tell
really cool.
you. I didn't tell you, but about 2, 3 years ago, I was outside because I live in a country,
Hmm.
suburbs of the Ottawa area, about 20. I want to say I don't. It's not miles. It's kilometers. So 20 kilometers would be what? Um,
Hmm.
10 miles, 15 miles,
Yeah, that's
about
my guess. Yeah.
like that, something like that. North, which is Quebec, and I love to be outside at night with all the lights turned off, and you can look in this. I love staring at the sky. Love
Yes.
seeing all the
Mm.
stars and
Yes.
whatever. So I'm outside with the dogs doing their business and that stuff, and I look up, and it was not cloudy or anything. It was clear sky, and I look up and I see this flash of light kind of going alongside. And I was like,
Hmm.
wait a minute. So I'm Googling quickly because I have my phone. And actually, I took a picture of it. I'm like, what the heck is this? So some people were like, oh, it could be Starlink. But I swear to God, it did not look like Starlink because it was
Right.
shorter. And then it appeared. It kind of went along. It stopped.
Ooh.
And it almost like disappeared. And I was like,
Okay.
I've never seen it again. But I was like, well,
It's like a
that's
cigar
interesting.
shape still, right?
Yeah. Would that be
Oh yeah. Cigar
something
shaped
that
is very common too. Yep. No, that's
and it
that's
was
very interesting,
super
especially if it
bright. It
stops
was
like that and just
yeah,
kind of
it was
dissipates.
super, super, super bright. It was like waiting for me to be like, take a picture. I am modeling for you right now. Anyways, it was so cute. It was really cool. I'll send you a picture later. I have
Yeah,
it somewhere.
please do.
Oh,
That's awesome.
it
Because
was really,
actually,
really cool.
there is another incident that I had about
Yeah.
2024, 2 years ago. So I'm trying to think what.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was on my backyard. We had a awesome lightning storm in the backyard going on. So I wanted to catch some of that cool lightning in slow motion on my camera.
Yeah.
So I just put it in slow motion mode on video, just shooting it for about 30 seconds. And I ran back into
Yeah.
the house and I look at it. And shit you not, there's a fucking UFO that just zooms by and it's like in a perfect it has the shadow bouncing off the clouds of it too. And I was like, no way. So I put this on Facebook and everybody went wild. They got like 36,000 views and shit. And then people were like, you're sending this in the MUFON, MUFON. I'm like, all right, fucking. So I had to fill like a MUFON application and like fill out my story. And then I had to send them the video and like show them
So
is
they
that.
have to what? They have to like kind of check it if it's real or not,
Well,
or
they had experts, analysts that like could like see what it was and stuff like that. And I thought it was perfect because when you see the UFO come out, there was a one single leaf because the wind was blowing like crazy during the storm. So one single leaf gets into frame, and it's like they almost intersect with the leaf that's falling. But the fact that it's in slow motion, it gives a good size reference from the leaf and like the speed of the craft. Oh my God. That dude in MUFON like wrote me a letter. He's like, dude, that looks that is awesome. He's just like, that
really?
looks legit to me. I'm like, dang. So then I talked
Yeah.
to him at the when I was at the paranormal convention in Chicago. I was there showcasing the Colonel Wendell Stevens with Barnaby Jones on his booth with the Wisconsin Caps, and it was awesome. Our booth was right across from MUFON's Illinois district, and the head director was there, and my guy's like, "Get over there with that photo album." And I went over there. All his eyes and his colleagues' eyes were popping out of their head, and I told them the story about Wendell Stevens, and they're like, "Oh my God, we know that guy." So like, it's like, I need all your information, your phone number, and your case number from the UFO setting you had in your backyard.
Ah,
So the fact that like I had two sightings, well, that fact that I didn't really see that until I saw the video, but like the fact that there's seems very prevalent in my backyard. There's some UFOs flying around. I don't know. So I like to
I'm
think.
just always curious, it's like how can we communicate with them? How can we, like
It's
do
funny you
we
said that. It's funny you
the
said
way
that.
do we send messages to them somehow? Like I'm always curious about
You
that.
know, Elmwood was back in the 80s just having to fundraise and get a they wanted to fundraise for a $50 million landing pad for aliens.
Oh wow.
That's kind of a lot for in the 80s, you know. But there's another guy up in Poland. Get this, Poland, Wisconsin.
Okay. Ooh,
It's a
cool.
small town right below Green Bay. And this guy named Bob has a farm, and he claims that there's been UFOs landing on his property and hovering over his property for years. So much so
Wow.
where he built this gigantic landing port thing to attract them more. So, he's got like a, George
Mhm.
Foreman grill up there and, satellites and,
Oh my goodness.
you know,
Has anybody actually confirmed that this is what's going on or
yeah, there's people people go to this place and talk to
okay.
Bob and he tells his stories, like, so this is, UFO enthusiasts who want to come by and stuff like that. It's really cool. I haven't been there yet.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Thanks for
Um,
sharing. It's
yeah,
really
but we have a lot of ancient stuff here. We have, do you know we had pyramids here?
yes. So I love what's his name? Graham Hickok.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely love
He's
him. And
amazing.
I was watching his documentary, his latest documentary.
Hmm.
And yeah, there was it was a pyramid, but it was a shape of a snake
Oh
around,
yes, in Ohio.
yes, in Ohio. Yeah. So I was it's very cool. I mean,
No,
obviously, they were here before us. Like when you go back to, you know, what is it called? The not the Genesis, but the why am I drawing a blank here? Will come to me in a minute. But it's quite interesting. It's very,
yeah.
very interesting.
Well, we have land pyramids and underwater ground pyramids. This is the megalithic pyramid of Aztalan. This is near Lake Mills, about 35 minutes away from Madison. Uh,
Okay.
so I go here a lot and take people to places because this place is very mysterious. So
Okay.
this is the Pyramid of the Sun. Look how like big it is, and the people down there, tiny as hell.
Yeah, that's
So then they have what's this another aerial shot of the Pyramid of the Sun,
the
and
other
they have
side. Yeah.
and then the Pyramid of the Moon. It's a one steakhouse pyramid. And
Interesting.
then they say the natives in the local area said that these people came from afar, dressed differently, and
Right.
they practice elongating skulls. They like set up shop and built these pyramids and built this gigantic wall
Yeah.
around their village and waged war with local Indians. and they practiced cannibalism. And the most mysterious part about the place was they dropped everything and like vanished out of thin air. Like there was no sign
Wow.
of sickness, there's no war, and there's UW students that still do digs here, digging up bones and pottery and other artifacts and shit. Yeah, they have actually a little museum next to this place of all the stuff they've been digging up all the years,
Very cool.
right?
Very interesting.
And
Yeah,
there's a, I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's like why people not talk about more about these things, you know? I think it's important to find out more. I always believe that we're not the only ones
Oh no.
who are here, you know. I think there's other lives for sure around.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of ancient cultures that have just been like, again,
Mhm.
traveling. And there's another interesting. This is at Rock Lake near Lake Mills. This guy Frank Joseph, who wrote two books, talks about these elongated pyramids. And the bottom of them, there's 10 of them. There's like this scuba diver who went down there in the 70s that drew this picture.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's very murky water. Very cool. The fact that the first settlers that came into the area saw these poking out of the water, and then they asked the local Indians what they were, and they were saying that they were the stone teepees of the ancient ones that they really didn't know about because they're underwater, obviously. But you have to think about like how old realistically this is because Wisconsin was one of the last glaciers in the United States to melt away, you know? So it's like,
Mhm.
was that under the ice the whole time? Holy Christ.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
no, there's just more ancient shit that's getting discovered here in Wisconsin. And having these three towns to be claiming to be UFO capital of the world, it's just kind of like, a lot
You
of,
know, I wonder if this will rewrite the history
hmm.
one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Graham
Yeah,
talking about all this stuff, like just kind of
yeah.
looking
What's
at a different
and
angle.
it's Greg Bargan too that he talks a lot about that, and there's few others that I came across that it's very fascinating.
Yeah,
What's his name? William Davids. He's from Australia. Have you heard about him?
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, love listening to him too. Very,
Yeah,
very wise man, and a lot of
there's a lot of ancient astronauts in Australia
yeah,
too.
yeah,
The
very
Wajina.
yes,
They
the
talk about
Virginia.
those people, those star people that came down and helped the natives. And they have talked about even Egyptians were sailing to Australia at the time, and they actually have Egyptian hieroglyphs on some of those rocks. You know that? And again, think about the boomerang, right? Like at the time that it was made, those people were just more worried about like shelter and food and like easy, you know. Who's gonna think about the aerodynamics of like my weapon misses my target, it's gonna come back to me?
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like what the fuck?
right, right.
That's just mind-boggling. You know, it still fucks with me to think about.
Yeah.
But,
So after when you saw the UFO for the first time, is
mhm.
that's when your interest started when you started
Well, I
reading
was like always
more
interested
and
as
more?
a kid in sci-fi and stuff like that, but no, it really grabbed hold when you actually see it for yourself, especially when it's so close, you know. And when it's dead silent, man, my stomach dropped, my hairs went up, like this that feeling of, and it was like dead silent, like the birds stopped chirping and shit, you know, like that was the weird, trippy. I was like, what the fuck? But
Wait a
no, like
minute.
I think they've been here since the dawn of time, you know, like
Yeah, I
they've been
believe that
they've
too.
been walking amongst us. The fact that they look just like us, you know, they talk
Yeah.
Bible all the holy books talk about God's coming down in vehicles, flying
Well, they're
chariots.
talking about the giants, right?
Oh yeah,
The
the
giants
giants. Yeah,
are
they talk about
related.
the angels
Yeah,
mating with humans, creating
that's it.
giants on Earth. Yeah. And that's all
Yeah.
over the place. There's giants in Hindu texts and stuff like that. And I love how the Hindus have their stories about all their gods need these vehicles to go to A to B, these flying
Yes.
vimana, you know? And a lot of them have blue skin and all different have different traits and like they actually have all this petty human emotion, especially in the Holy Bible too, that God seems to need to have. You know,
Yeah.
it's like weird
Yeah.
shit. But no, like no, I love how they really describe a lot of this in very detail about these wars that happen amongst the gods and then some of the explosions that happen on the people who get radiation poisoning, you know, and they talk about like elephants dying and people who were pregnant at the time, babies were dying and
Right.
hair falling out and their fingernails falling out and yeah, really crazy shit. Um, no, I love hearing stories like that and this I love this one. You ever heard of the one story from the Kayapo Indians in Brazil? It's one of the it's one of my favorite stories.
No?
Can I share it really quick?
Yes, go for it.
All right, so there's this uh the tale of this the Kayapo Indians. They kind of live like straight from like they have this rags and they still hunt with spears and stuff like that. And even to today, they this kind of still very primitive. But they tell the story that this thing came down with fire and smoke on top of this mountain that's nearby their village, and they were this thing came in like the Michelin Man, like or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, like this bulbous, and he's just kind of like coming in with his glass helmet, and the brave Indians over there try to fight him and throw spears at him and shit, and then it all hit it when it hit his clothes, it all turned to dust. And then he must have laughed at the vigility of the people like trying to fight him. So he took out his weapon and he points it at a tree and it explodes, and all the Indians run into the bush. And then he stands in the village like a statue for days while the Indians are trying to figure out what to do with him. And I guess like some brave Indians brought food to his feet, and he started speaking in their language. And like, whoa, how do you know our language? He's like, well, I had to listen to you guys to figure out what you're going to do with me. And la da 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 da. And he's like, I'm just here to teach and
Yeah,
prosper and just want to, teach you
yeah,
how to agriculture, mathematics, astronomy. So they have this school that was built after this dude in his honor. And he stayed with the people for years and actually married one of the women. So apparently he can physically have sex with these people. So, and you talk
I
about it,
was I was
like white
envisioning
skin.
I was envisioning some sort of like a monster
No, no, no. Yeah,
person.
but he's
But
wearing a
I guess
very
if he
bulbous
turns
suit
into
like an astronaut. That's what I'm just
yeah,
kind of
okay,
catching at, right?
okay,
Like the Michelin Man, that's kind of
okay.
bulbous. But yeah, I'm pretty sure to the Indians' eyes, it was a monster. You
Right,
know.
right.
uh, but no, it was really interesting that he has a story of having a wife there teaching, and then when he left. He says, one day I'll return, kind of like all the other gods around the world. They have the same promise to the earthlings
Right.
that one day we're going to return and shit. And yeah, they built a school named after him in Beb Karoti, and they have a yearly celebration of telling the story of him, but they dressed up one of the guys, villagers, as Beb Karoti in the straw suit. So he's in this straw astronaut suit, just dancing around while the girls are singing the song of how he came down, teaching them. And again, it's just that cargo cult of like keeping it relevant when he does come down. Our children are not going to be afraid, like the Hopi Indians with the
Yes,
Katina dolls,
yes,
like same
yeah,
reason why like these things are going to be in your life one day or
yeah,
your children's lives one day because they do look crazy. So, like especially the
yeah.
Kachina dolls, they look like they're robotic. A lot of them do, with their helmets and
But it's funny how the government all around the world has really shunt us from believing that they believe they exist in a way, right? I mean, I know in Europe was the same thing. People couldn't talk about it,
well,
even
I
if
heard
it
Europe has a
happened.
real more hush hush about stuff like that. I have a
Yeah,
German colleague, and he's just
yeah.
his Germany is not into the UFO
No, there
craze.
not a lot of people, but there is sighting as well in there too, right?
There are
They
tons.
can't.
Yeah.
They're afraid to say it. They're afraid to publicly say it because they're going to be um, called crazy or maybe worse. You never know. So it's kind of like a hush hush thing. Yeah. Yeah.
If Americans are claiming it, then that must be crazy. No, no, it's yeah, it's something uh, for me too. Like just to get all this memorabilia of UFO stuff is kind of like manifesting my destiny of how I kind of like steer myself and who I'm interacting because I end up talking to people that I've idolized for years, like Paula Harris. I got to be on the phone with her. She travels to Italy. She lived out in Italy for a while. Um, Paula Harris. We had We had Eric Von Daniken, Chariots of the Gods, and who else we had? We had Professor Avi Loeb from Harvard. That's the guy who's
Okay.
making the newer discoveries there, especially with that new comet that was coming in. Everybody knew it
Yes.
was a comet or a mothership of a UFO. I was hoping it was a
Yeah.
mothership that would just stomp on the brakes and just tell humanity how it is.
Right. Right.
The we don't have to fight with each other anymore. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, too
That's
bad.
so cool. That's so cool that you actually spoke to them. Really cool.
Yeah, again, the fact that I even got to that level of like them even wanting to, it's just like what? I think again, that was the golden ticket was these photographs that I had is like the fact that I'm a custodian to these things now. So I don't know. That's how I see it. That's how I don't think I'd get anywhere else if I didn't have this like really cool, valuable information.
Yeah.
I'm
You
pretty
never
sure one day
know.
the government's gonna knock at my door and they're like, "We want you in Congress to talk about these UFO." Yeah, like, get me in Congress. Let's talk about these fucking things.
Yeah.
But no, maybe the Men in Black that'd be fucked up too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Little funky, weird things walking around us. I don't know. It would be cool.
Did you see Spielberg's new trailer for? It's called like Disclosure Now. It's gonna be an alien
No.
disclosure movie.
No. But is that related to all the files that have been released?
Uh,
Something else.
Kinda. I think it's
Okay.
just like we're in the realm of like having the slow drip of disclosure of having our government kind of telling us the fact that we're in even having Congress having the conversation of UFOs.
Right.
Just say it all.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
like what the fuck?
Yeah. Stop hiding shit. That's it.
Well, I
Yeah.
think because they just don't know how society. Because look how they did with COVID. Like people were like went nuts for the toilet paper and shit. Like
Yeah, I
if
know.
you really
Trust me.
like give them the whole dose, like right there and then they're like, oh, like the super religious ones would be throwing themselves off rooftops, and
Yeah.
then like uh, I think no one would go back to work because I wouldn't. That was like and I have no
Um,
drive for like
it's
making
been
money
three
for.
or 4 years, and people are still not wanting to go to work, kind of thing.
No, right? No, exactly. It's so yeah, they got to be careful in a sense, and I
Yeah.
think Congress is lying about certain things they can release. That's why they're kind of butting heads with the whistleblowers and all the military guys to talk about the Tic Tacs that are coming out of the water, and the fact that shit is coming out of the water and been coming out of the water since the dawn of time. They've been,
Right.
or we could have been this. We could be the alien race that crash landed here millions of years ago because some dumbass was like falling asleep at the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then
You
we had
never
it.
know.
That's how we started a war with each other. Then we all spread out through the planet, and we had to start with sticks and stones.
Right.
I'd like to think about it, but no, that's just
Never know.
interesting.
Maybe some of us have some sort of DNA in there
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
what do you think all that junk DNA is all about?
Oh, that's
And then no, I was gonna. Isn't this just? I love telling this story, this UFO story, and takes place in all the way up north in Eagle River, Wisconsin. And I
okay.
found out I have a cabin out in Eagle River, Wisconsin. I found out my cabin's only 5 minutes away from where this happened. This is back in 1961 with Joe Simonton. And he used to be a police officer, boxer, and he's an animal
Yeah.
lover, and he's just a farmer kind of guy. But
Yeah.
anyways, he was eating breakfast and it was about like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and he saw a flying saucer through the window come down like an elevator landing on his driveway and he's like what the fuck. So he runs out and he's seen when he's walking out this latch is opening up and it was a human with a blue tight jumpsuit and he said he had like olive skin like he was an Italian. He had like an empty jug in his hand and he's motioning for water and no words were being exchanged. Joe was just trying to get a conversation. He's like, what the hell is going on? What is this? And then he's like, okay, I'll get you the water. And he's like looking at the jug too, trying to find some like,
Pretty
numbers
small
or
or whatever. Right.
yeah,
Right.
anything that can give like some indication what the hell this is.
Yeah.
So he gets the water, brings it back to the extraterrestrial, and he noticed there was two other guys in there over like a flat flameless grill. They were cooking these like pancakes, and I think I have some pictures of these. Um, and yeah, he's got handed four of these for the exchange of the water, and he's still confused. He's still trying to get a conversation. Like, what do you want? Do you want me to eat these? You know, and so he's kind of hesitant, obviously, because this shit's coming out of the UFO.
Right.
I guess he took a nibble out of it. He said it tasted like a piece of cardboard. And
So
where?
there was no word exchange, nothing
No,
between.
it very penetrating. Yeah, you think there would be or something, or even
Yeah,
telepathically or something.
yeah.
And there was nothing. And the extraterrestrial went back into his UFO and it went up, rose like an elevator and it shot like a bullet, he said. And he's just left dumbfounded with a handful of greasy pancakes. If I can find a picture here. Um,
And when did that happen? 1960 something, you said? 1961?
1961.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where the hell? I'm not gonna look forever. But yeah, they're very like little tokens, like little,
Okay.
very little, nothing
Little
crazy.
small mini pancakes.
Yeah, he's just like, so he calls the authorities, and the authorities actually got another call from somewhere else nearby saying that they saw something in the sky that was mysterious. But anyways, he tells us this crazy story about what happened, and he's like, "But I have these pancakes. You would," and the cop's like, "Well, let's analyze it then, you know." So you got some scientists to analyze the pancakes. They found out they were regular buckwheat pancakes, but did not have any trace of salt. And that is impossible because everything organic on Earth has a trace of salt because of the oceans. So it's like, hmm. It's like maybe this place we're growing buckwheat on the ship where we didn't have salt
Mm,
growing on that shit organically. Who knows? But very intriguing that they didn't have any trace of salt. But why wouldn't it? You know,
yeah.
if he was just like happened to grab some buckwheat out of wherever
I'm
and say,
curious actually too now is that, are they consuming food the same way as we are? Do they only eat once a month? Do they eat every day? Like those are the questions that
well, that's he even had the same question because
yeah.
he's like this tastes like pieces of cardboard. He's like, no wonder they're small because
Oh yeah, that's
they're
right.
only 5 feet
Yeah,
tall too. But
right.
they're human. They had brown hair and blue or brown eyes, I think.
Okay.
But like Italian olive skin,
Right.
it's tight blue jumpsuit. But yeah, very weird, right? It's just like, but you makes me think about how do you think communion got started? That's a very communion type of
Hmm.
interaction, was it not? Like exchange for the water for the wafer
But
and
for
in
the
exchange
wafer,
for you know what I'm
yeah.
saying like that, you know, and it's not much of a talk when you are doing that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. It's
so it
putting
makes you
pieces
aware
together,
how that
yeah.
you know because why or or otherwise I kind of think of it as like some like teenager ETs are like we're gonna fuck with this guy right here.
Right. But
You
then
know what I'm
again,
saying? We're
where
not gonna
did
say
they get that
shit.
big
We're gonna give us
saucer
some
from?
like yeah. We want to get some water. Like it's so ridiculous. Like as aliens,
Yeah.
we could definitely get water, right? It's
Like,
just like
I mean,
no, it's just like a funny joke on their part, you know?
you can get dressed up and you can do this now, but I mean, if someone flies in a saucer like this, that's kind of like a little bit, extreme. Like that's not real. That's not like at least for our eyes right now.
Sure.
It's kind of like, wait a minute, what am I dreaming, or is
Right.
this really happening for real? Right? So
Right.
yeah,
Well, the
yeah,
fact that he had the physical evidence
that's
too, it's
it.
just kind of like made it clarify,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, because they never left anything on the planet, have they?
Oh,
Except the
extraterrestrials?
pancake. Yeah,
Oh no, they have.
really.
You ever heard of the Bet Spear? This is out in Florida. This is about
No.
like 1970s where this family, the Betts family, their property had a bushfire or something, and they were trying to control it and put it out, and then when they finally did, they found like big silver sphere just chilling there. And they thought that could have been the cause of the fire. For they're just kind of confused, but
Right.
they brought it home with them, and it was just weird. They had like I think when they shook it, it had like a little tingle in it or a little jingle thing. I think they did X-rays on this thing, but anyways, it came alive after one of the Betts boys started playing the guitar, and it started moving across. the
Mm.
top of the table. And then they're like, whoa. And then they found out like it would like get a connection with the family almost, where the ball would actually follow them around the fucking house. J.
That
Allen
was
J.
spooky
Allen
though.
Hynek, who
Oh,
was hired by the government back in the 1950s in Project Blue Book, actually investigated this case and actually touched this thing and held it and shit and like saw it move around and shit.
so what
So
happened to it now? Like,
check
is it
this out.
still
The family's goofy ass wanted more answers, so they gave it to the fucking government. They never gave it back. It's
right?
just like, duh.
So the kind of story ended there.
They didn't do there, yeah. But the fact that it like had an interesting connection with the family of like it moving on its own, and then when they did X-ray it before they gave it to the government, it had like other spheres inside of it,
Mhm.
right? It's just like, and there's other stories of like flying spheres throughout, centuries, and there's even
Right,
Jesus
right.
holding a sphere. You ever seen those images?
Yeah, yeah. I really have to send you William David's. I think his name is William David's. Anyways, what you're talking about right now, he goes back in history, like even pre-Jesus. Like
Oh, sure. Yeah.
it's it's been around for. I mean, he is uh, he is a priest.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And he studied when he left priesthood because he's like, this is it's just not for me because he was too woo-ha kind of thing. When
Mm-hmm.
he left priesthood, he started studying all different other religions. And what he came up to the conclusion of that um, every religion in the world talks about the same thing.
They do. Yep.
You go to Egypt, right? What you
Mm-hmm.
can see in the pyramids. Well, you see um, different kinds of people. They don't look
Yes.
like humans,
No.
right? They and we are kind of bowing to them, and we were like, "You are God."
Yes.
So I mean, those are proofs right there, right?
I agree. Like the fact that like I know the humans made the pyramids and other structures, but they had the help
Well, the
from the
question,
gods.
but
From
the
the
question
gods.
is now, what
Mhm.
I've been listening to is they're saying that it wasn't built by humans. It's
Yeah. Well,
actually been
maybe
built,
there's certain there's there's that too where there's the older stuff that is even questionable that even humans even made. Humans are building on top of that because they think it is important because the gods were making these structures. Like Pumapunku. You ever heard of that
right?
place
Yeah.
in Peru? That
Yes.
place is they even talk about that was made by the gods. And that makes sense. And they say they made it in one night. That makes more sense too. And then it was all destroyed before the extraterrestrials left because they wanted to make sure that none of the natives would have the upper hand with other natives because of their
Right.
buildings and stuff like that. So that's another like, oh, no, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. There's more gods who build the buildings themselves. But I'm just saying, even with the pyramids there, because what healthy slave are you whipping on the back to drag 80-ton boulders across different terrains at 20 miles away
Right.
from the quarry site? You know what I'm saying? This is like,
I
yeah,
don't think we even had that many people to like
no,
let's
and you
say
and look at the
half of the
toolbox. You
people.
got dental floss and chicken bones.
Well, that's it. That's it. I mean, half of them died from starvation. So where
Yeah,
were you getting the other people from? Like, you know what I mean? I think it's just stories that Hollywood has created, and I think we've been believing in these stories for generations now. So it's kind of like, okay, let's step back and be like, let's peel those onions, the layers of the onions, and really find out what was happening in there, who actually truly built them, right?
right.
So yeah, another one, my favorite guy, but he's more of he's a mathematician. You probably maybe heard of him, maybe not. Robert Edward Grant. Have you heard about
Yes,
him?
that sounds familiar too. Okay.
Yeah, so I love listening to him because what he's doing is mathematically, he's calculating. I mean, again, I don't think it's possible for humans to build something like this. So mathematically, he was, calculating all the pyramids, all the angles and all that stuff. And he recently discovered that the one of the pyramids, I don't want to say this, I hope I'm not saying this wrong, but one of the pyramids apparently is almost like a chakra.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Yes.
certain points on the Nile River where it
Yes.
taps the human, the chakras kind of thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to figure out of how and why, because majority of these pyramids around the world, they're in the same um
Ley lines.
yes, right? The way that they're
Mm-hmm.
connected. And there is a musical note that he was saying that when you play it, you can
Yes.
hear these sounds, right? Kind of thing. So it's quite interesting. Like I'm so interested in all that stuff. So
Yes.
love it.
No, it's yeah, mathematics flows into music
Yeah.
notes and stuff like that. It's so cool. And it makes you think that might be like the music would be like uh the galaxy language to speak because like like with like the sounds and lights with like with messages, with codes,
Yeah. It's
it's like
coding, right?
easier, right? It's easier to kind of like I think that one movie, uh, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. They have like that movie,
Yeah, I've
Spielberg's
never
movie.
seen it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's so tough. I don't know. It's just endless. The fact I think one day here in the future, well, things are getting more crazy in the world. I think maybe hopefully some of these extraterrestrials who are walking amongst us or maybe listening to this podcast step in and do some shit or you know what I'm saying? Break up the monotony of life here.
But you know what? Maybe one day this video can be sent in in the future.
Yes.
Who knows? I mean, listen, I think we are here today, and I would not want to be anywhere else than I am right now, right here,
For
in this
sure.
moment where we are discovering these things. We are truly finding out things. Things are,
Yes.
again, peeling away from everything that has been covered by, the early, since Jesus time kind of thing, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, let's stop with these lies. Let's stop with all this stuff. Like, why can't we all be humans?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, and it's just sad that we have these Bibles that just get rewritten and rewritten with all the story and bullshit that humans want other humans to think. So that's why I like to think about the older stuff is the best stuff when I talk about ancient astronauts or the ancient holy books of different cultures. They're talking truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're interacting with bird people, man. It's happening. The people are coming from the sky, and taking people up and. It's just the fact that they didn't have the vocabulary to describe what they were seeing. So it's like, again, flying flaming chariots or
Right.
flying shields or flying turtles. That's,
Yeah, you're right. Right.
Um, but no, I like to view the book, Holy Book, as like a collection of UFO interactions that were seen by thousands, enough where it's like people took a vote on it. It's like, yeah, put that in a fucking book. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just one person get to feel like, oh, I'm gonna write this in the book and have everybody believe it. Because it's just nonsense too. It's just like,
But it all comes down to power.
yes, it is.
All comes down to power. We gotta hold on to this shit, and that way everybody else will obey.
You
Right?
better, right?
Right.
Jesus.
Right. So it's kind of like, yeah, let's
Yeah,
just stop with all this lying. Let's just open up and really, let's just find out
let's find out.
what the truth is.
Well, before we wrap stuff up, I want to talk a little bit more on your podcast. We didn't really dabbled too much about your podcast. How'd you
Yeah.
start that? And like, what is the subject matter? And who are some of your guests that you really were intrigued by?
Oh, thanks for asking. Um, so the podcast idea basically came up for me personally because I was always super very quiet and very shy, and I was always afraid of speaking my mind, or because English is not my first language, I always, in my head, again, I created these stories, right? No one else created these stories except myself. And I was like, you know what? I think this podcast would be a really good idea for me to um, open up and really speak from my heart,
Hmm.
speak the way I wanted to speak, because it's my show, my rules. I can do whatever I want in a way, right? Kind of thing.
Yes, that's
And it
cool.
will help me in my own personal life. It will help me in my own, development, my career, whatever it is. If it makes it big, great. If it doesn't, great. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm just doing this for myself.
That's so cool.
Um, but I had a really, sorry. So going back is that originally I wanted this podcast to be for women only,
Hmm.
because as a holistic nutritionist, I help women navigate through, you know, women in their 40s or 50s, right? Going through some life changes. So I wanted to mainly focus on women, but then I was like, well, I was very limited talking to women, and now I wanted to talk to men to also see their point of views. And I'm like, I don't want to restrict myself. I
Sure.
want to be open to things, right? So I had to kind of pivot a little bit, which is great. And within my first year, so this is my second year going in, I think the first year I took 6 months off. I needed it for my life. And then recently, last May, I took 8 months off. So I'm just coming back again, and I
Cool.
rebranded a little bit again, all that stuff, kind of going through and all that stuff. But my my first year, I had Drew Menning from Fit to Fat to Fit. I'm not sure. Have you ever heard of him?
No, tell me more.
Absolutely amazing guy. Worth checking him out. The point what he was trying to say would really stick with me, and it's so true as a holistic nutritionist. I look at that, and we can help people the way we can help them as much as we can. But if we don't understand their perspective, where they come from, let's say if they're a little bit overweight and we are fit as hell or healthy, and we get frustrated because we don't understand their point of view, what he did, okay, he took 8 months to gain, okay, close to 90 pounds or 70 pounds, I think he said.
Wow.
So he went from being fat as hell, sorry, fit as hell, literally ripped, okay, being
Hmm.
a trainer, helping people and that stuff, gaining that 70 pounds. He goes, emotionally, it changed him, because your body image is just your body,
Hmm.
right? What's in your head? What other thinks of you, right? He goes, I had that image of Drew, the fit guy, and now I'm no longer a fit guy. It only took me 8 months to get there, and now I am like 70 pounds heavier than I was, big belly. You can go and look him up, you know. And he
Okay.
goes, it took him a year to lose all that weight. So he goes,
Wow.
I understand how people can struggle.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
you eating healthy. He goes, it's not easy to eat healthy when you're being constantly bombarded by these commercials, by these, drive-bys, McDonald's, and all these fast food and that
Yes.
stuff. He goes, it's
Yeah.
emotionally, it's very, very difficult to do that.
Mm.
It took a lot of intelligence. It took a long time for him to get to the point where he wanted to be, obviously. But now when he works with clients and with people, and what he shares is that it really truly comes from here. And
Sure.
you have to look at yourself first, and then try to help other people. So that was a great message. I really, really appreciate that from him. So
That's really cool.
yeah. Yeah. So most of my podcasts are about health, spirituality, self-development, things like that.
Cool.
Just kind of going that direction. So
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe I will, have you on and
Oh,
talk
that'd be
about your
great.
experience and
Oh,
that's
can we? That'd be
so
great. I
spiritual.
love being a guest on
Yeah.
other people's podcasts.
Awesome.
Yeah, please. I would love to do
We'll
that
kind of hear
sometime.
your stories. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have tons of stories we could go through.
Because again, I think people are interested in this
Oh,
stuff.
they are.
Even here in
This is
Canada,
the
I know
time
a
to
lot of
be.
people.
This is an important
Mhm.
time, especially when we have Congress. That's important to, and we have military people that are putting their reputations on the line for us to like.
That's it.
There's billions of this is 7 billions of people on this planet that are being lied to. You know, we all need this truth. You know, and there's so
That's
many
it.
people who are itching to get down on that. And I just find that spiritual people and everybody in the different realms of different like phenomenon, it all like it comes together. Like they all want the truth. They all want like the.
That's
I
it.
think it's like maybe because I'm scared of death, and death is like I'm just trying to find so many answers before I do die. You know
Oh,
what I'm
you have
saying?
so long to go.
I know, but let me just feel like I can do it. You
I
know?
had a great. I also had a great Canadian Indigenous
Oh, cool.
man coming on, and he was sharing because I asked him that question. I'm like, well, what happens to our bodies? Like, what happens to it? And he goes, mostly it's illusion. Our bodies die, but our spirit lives forever.
Sure.
And that's why the indigenous always believe in the spirit, because your body is just a body. It's a physical body, right? Once
Sure.
it's gone, well, it's gone, but your spirit always lives on no matter what. So that was
Right.
a beautiful message as well,
That
where it's
is.
like, you should
And
not be afraid.
there's I know, but there's tons of reincarnation. There's a lot of stories in that of different religions talking about
Yes.
reincarnation. That's even more fear. I'm just glad that I end up being where I'm at right now. Like, can you imagine like your soul coming back to Earth and you're seeing your ass going to some third world country? You're like, oh no, you
You
know
know
what I'm
what? You
saying?
always
I'm
have to
going to the
put that in your
Congo.
you
Shit.
have to put this in your head and be like, okay, what do I want to incarnate myself into?
Yeah, I want
If
to be an
you can,
animal.
because you can choose what you want to, unless we are here to do our karma, not all of us,
Sure.
right? Then yeah, then if you believe in incarnation, then yes, you're gonna reincarnate again on this earth. But once your karma is done, right? You
Right.
don't come back.
That's
You
cool. I think I'm at my. I filled my cup up. If I'm talking about aliens and doing a podcast, I think I'm at my. You know what I'm saying? I
I
think
love
I
it.
stoked up all my knowledge of the Earth. This is the
That's good.
last
That's
thing to
good.
learn. Hopefully, you know, I'd rather have my soul travel the stars for all eternity because I think that would take all eternity to do, right? To visit all the stars and planets and
That's it.
see what other life is out there, and I think that'd be so cool.
And
But
then we connect with the others who
yeah,
are there that have
as
been
I say,
there.
the extraterrestrials were probably like able to talk to me when I'm like traveling by them. You know, like I
Yeah.
see you. I'm like, what?
Do you have a telepathic communication
Oh
either with
no.
your friends, family, or
Oh
anybody
no.
there?
No. I heard that a lot of autistic kids have a special telepathic connection with their parents. They like there's been recent studies where like they put the autistic kid in there, another
Yeah,
room, and, like the
I
mother
read
would
that
start
as well.
drawing something and like yeah, it's super
They're
awesome.
here on Earth to teach us something for sure.
Yes, for sure. No, I believe in the star seeds and the indigo kids. I believe
Yeah,
like you're one of those, you know.
I am. So I have discovered because I did my research a couple years ago, and I'm like, I'm looking at the list of the different star seeds. I'm like, nope, nope,
Nope.
nope. And I'm reading through it. I don't know, it's like 20 something or whatever. I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm like, yes, yes. So I'm a Blu-ray.
Oh, Blu-ray. Okay.
Yeah. I was just kind of like, oh, very interesting. So true. Everything that I read, I was like, okay,
That's awesome.
I can see that.
I've been told that I might be a star seed, but I don't know. I haven't. A lot of people, you'd think I would know if I was or not, but maybe because what I'm doing here is just to give. I like giving my podcast to be the podium for my audience, basically to kind of give the free reign of, you know, supporting or promoting whatever they're
Yeah.
promoting or doing what they're doing and just I just
Yeah.
love meeting new people all around the world. I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you've met people from all around the world too. Like
Same.
I talked to people from Australia, from Japan,
Yeah.
and from Norway to
Yeah.
Italy and all the way to
Yeah.
South
Just from
America.
actually meeting them and seeing, as I said earlier, their perspective,
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't
their
it?
point of views, and hearing. what they have to share, what experience, what journey they were on. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you could be. I think you just have to like dig it out and read a little bit more about it and kind of see what resonates with you. And then if it doesn't, then doesn't, and it's okay. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Well,
I think we
hey,
all are in some way or the other.
yes. I was gonna say, well, we'll wrap it up for now, and I'd love to have you back again. Sometimes we have like a big group chats, and we like have a bunch of like-minded people, and we just kind of like just kick the shit. You know what I'm saying? Just another
Huh.
way of networking and having fun. If you're ever down to do that, I can always send you an invite to do that sometime with us. It's just fun,
Absolutely.
to kick the shit, and I love. I had a great time chit chatting with you and shit. That
Thank
was
you,
so
Justin. I did
fun.
too. I
It
did too.
was-
I learned quite a bit. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
yes. Oh, hey,
Awesome.
stick with me for 2 more minutes.
Okay, sounds good.